is most different about this year's version of Evan Mobley?
The aggression. The aggressiveness, the mindset. You know. Come on, fam.
Record labels are begging to sign him right now.
Just a few short weeks ago, hell, even a few days ago, LiAngelo Ball was in limbo. Both his younger and older brothers had made it to the NBA. The one sole goal all of them had had since childhood. As the leading scorer of the Ball boys at Chino Hills, dropping 70 on multiple occasions in both pro and high school leagues, the NBA had seemed like a sure bet. After some hiccups, however, one that led to an international crisis, ball control for LiAngelo wasn't nearly as strong as it was for Lonzo or LaMelo. With his 26th birthday passing just last month or so, Gelo had yet to step on an NBA floor as a rostered NBA player. Now the father of two children, it now seemed that there are only two things that Gelo was worried about, being essentially a stay-at-home dad.
I'm gonna do whatever the son need, you know, as my girl, she need, you know, handle that. I'm running errands
And at the age of 26, making it to the NBA.
Damn, I'm trying to hoop. Thanks. I done hit them reverse. Yeah.
But it didn't seem all that promising. Lonzo, his older brother, took note of this and encouraged him to keep exploring other avenues, as in kind of telling him that it wasn't gonna work out.
Hey, Zo, I might be locked in with your program, gang. If stuff go right, you know?
For sure, man.
All right, let's talk some hoop, man.
He said, for sure, man.
LiAngelo wasn't hearing that, though. He spent his days waiting for calls. Yeah, this mug sound kind of melodramatic. So how do we go from that to this?
What song are you listening to?
Tweaker by LiAngelo Ball.
LiAngelo now has a song that is the most popular on the internet by far, and he's set to perform at Rolling Loud. After 1 week, this is the closest to an overnight sensation that I think anyone my age, hell, damn near any age, has ever seen. What started as a funny little meme, because of course it did, became a defining moment for the last Ball brother. But this came out of nowhere, right? Well, actually, not really. Let's take a brief look back at the glory days.
And I'm thinking while I'm sitting.
As a part of the Ball brothers' unmatched pre-draft hype, Lonzo Ball had come up as one of the biggest rappers of the day, with hit singles ZO2,
What you rockin' ZO2s? I'm going past some ZO2s.
Super Saiyan,
I'm leveled up, I'm Super Saiyan.
a song commemorating his brother MB1, and a diss track on his own teammate Kyle Kuzma.
And I would never stop a workout just to post a pic.
Lonzo proved that he could hold his weight in the rap world, and was, in my opinion, the best rapper in the NBA. His discography frequently included other artists such as DC the Don. Hey, Free Smoke and Strav Mode was in the day that was the one, bro. Lance Stevenson, other friends and associates, and for the first time in the summer of 2020, Gelo Ball, aka Doughboy G. The song itself wasn't great, but Gelo, for his debut, showed flashes.
Picking us off about one, this shit cruelty. How we supposed to stay calm when they treat us like target practice? We don't know how to act.
Lonzo put out another song later that month as a single before the album that he titled BBA, Bounce Back Album. Alongside the Ball brothers' old manager and Lance Stevenson, Gelo got a feature. And dare I say, out of the whole album, his verse was the best, if not by far.
What you know about running hills and hooping day and night?
At this point, Gelo is still avidly and ardently trying to make the league. He'd had surgery on his ankle the year before, and after signing with Oklahoma City Blue, OKC's G League affiliate, the NBA shut down. In quarantine, we all picked up new hobbies, right? Gelo's was rapping. In 2021, Gelo dropped his first song without Zoe, called Mob Ties on a feature. A few months after that, Lonzo put out a new single with Gelo, now G Honcho, called My Town. Then another one. This was around the time that Gelo was working out with Charlotte per LaMelo's request, where after a good summer workout, he was able to join the G League team. Things were looking up, and although he wasn't making much noise during the G League season, at least he was on the roster. It was around this time that Lonzo and Gelo dropped a collab mixtape called the Ball Star Pack, where you can see that Gelo has some talent for this.
Look at this shit I get into. Bitch, I go stupid, go mental. Swear this bitch not beneficial. Stripes on me, bit too official. I pull out and bust on the dip.
LiAngelo was invited once more to the 2022 Summer League, where he showed enough to sign a non-guaranteed contract with the Charlotte Hornets. However, he was waived a month later. At this point, we don't see another track from Gelo in a while, presumably because he was still trying to make the league, as at 23, his window was closing. But it was to no avail. Eventually, Gelo, with his partner Nicki Minaj from Love and Hip Hop, had a child and settled into a life that most could only dream of, but one that he seemed to hate.
I just be trying to get run anywhere. I don't care. I picked up 12-year-olds last week.
His brothers were both in the league, and injuries aside, both thriving. As for him, Well, last year in 2024, Gelo played in Mexico for 2 games before suffering an ankle injury and returning home. It was now back to waiting for the G League, hoping for his big break. But as he revealed in a beef with Cameron and Mace, yes, actually, Cameron started calling Gelo Gino, and, you know, that they took off from there. He knew that his time had elapsed.
Cameron can hate me, nigga. I'll wake up the same tomorrow. Nobody said you been in top 5, top 10, bro. Like, I've never heard your name in no rap combos. I'm not gonna lie. So we in the same boat, nigga. I didn't make the league and you ain't in no top 10, so we the same.
Around this time, Gelo and Lonzo started a podcast called What an Experience with former manager Demo and family friend Banks. Zoe was spending a lot of time with Gelo, and Zoe decided to make a podcast to make some easy money, give himself a platform to express his thoughts, and most importantly,
to help him out. He wasn't really doing too much at home, and we figured this would be a good avenue for him to start, you know, creating his own brand.
I didn't know that, bro.
They didn't really realize how funny he was until we had started the podcast.
Yeah, I didn't know you talked.
Yeah.
Along with the podcast, the Ball brothers started dropping again. They started with a single Way, What an Experience, to commemorate the podcast. Then, after a month or 2, Lonzo decided.
We're gonna drop a track every pod.
See your night.
So expect music every week, a song a week.
You gonna put a song a week on here?
Coming like that.
Damn, we gonna need some more beats then, brother.
Well, we got hella tracks.
How many songs do y'all have?
At least 70.
We got oldies though. Like I got some new ones that's OD.
Yeah,
though.
it's gonna be some older
They
shit.
got
but
songs from COVID.
It's gonna be new to the people.
Yeah, 70 up to 80 tracks from quarantine that the Ball brothers have in the vault. And it just so happened, while on stream with former Fortnite gamer and kick streamer Neon, Gelo previewed one of his newer songs. And, well, social media did its thing. Okay, that's enough lore. Let's discuss. There's been an egregious amount of athletes getting into rapping. We know about the lyrical miracle Dame Lillard and Miles Bridges, who punches in more than just bars. They've both made objectively good tracks. Lonzo himself was a cultural moment at UCLA, and Katie and Braun literally have a song together.
Every hater all the same, I'm feeling like the world is Skip Bayless and I'm LeBron James.
But they all pale in comparison to Tweaker. Why? I mean, of course, it's catchy. I've been singing and dancing to that mug every day. But catchy songs drop all the time, even from athletes. Remember Heart and Soul?
I know that you want me, cause I look the best.
But no, Gelo's success was different. It's viral. We've only seen something like this maybe 2 or 3 times before in recent memory, and never from an athlete. So how did we get here? To find out, we're gonna take it back to the Old Town Road. Incidentally, this was around the time that the Ball Bros were actually popping off, so that's funny. Lil Nas X came out of nowhere to become arguably the biggest artist in America in a few short years. And it all started from when he was trying to make ends meet at his sister's house. He made Old Town Road, and once it took to social media, it immediately became a hit due to its memeability. Yep, memeability. This was around the time that Red Dead Redemption 2 had came out, and people had started associating country with rap music as an ironic fusion. Lil Nas saw that and damn near forced this song on the charts, fanning the flames with constantly posting trap cowboy memes. Until it took. And once it did, he got one of the premier artists of the genre to hop on the remix and made it reach higher heights than either artist had ever seen. Another more recent example is Ice Spice with You Thought I Was Feeling You? I know you finished in your head. An up-and-coming New York artist with only 5 songs released by the time she released Munch, she became a global sensation. Look at Glorilla 2 and arguably even Sexy Red.
What?
FNF and Ski Yee were hits that blew unknown artists into global stardom. Yeah, I heard Bandada I heard that in Tokyo, so global stardom. These hits were all fueled by one thing, novelty. In today's age, any age really, audiences crave it. Every social media trend and meme is birthed from novelty. It's the same with music. Think about Lil Baby from 2018 to now. He dropped an album to kick off the year, and in full disclosure, I dropped it after track 2 because he sounds the same. Stale, unoriginal, a far cry from Something to Prove, and freestyle. A far cry because the voice stayed way too damn close. Is that a hit? Now we take a look at LiAngelo Ball, whose favorite artists are NBA YoungBoy, No Cap, and Future, and was no more than the age of 7 in the time of Manny Fresh and Nelly. He dropped a 2000s gangster rap track in 2025? Why does it sound good? Why can't I get it out of my head? Boom, there you have it. The magical trio of memeability, catchiness, and novelty. The first hits of Lil Nas, Ice, Glow, and Sexy all had these qualities. But Gelo has one more that might just make this something we've never seen before. Fame. LiAngelo Ball was one of the most famous teenagers, if not people, in the entire nation just a few years back. The story of his family is probably the most well-documented in sports history. Gelo could have done literally nothing else for the rest of his life, and people would still come up for autographs 30 years from now. That contributes a lot to one of the main things a song requires: recognizability. Recognizing the artist makes the song more recognizable. Connecting the person to the work keeps both relevant. And Gelo is always going to be relevant in some way. With no output or even just podcast clips. I mean, go check out the show if you haven't. Gelo is clearly a star. I'm not gonna lie, he's funnier than Miller. But to add that kind of personality, plus prior knowledge, plus not to mention a league partner who's your biggest cheerleader, to an objectively chartable piece. I mean, hey, you get a Rolling Loud invite 1 week after hopping on some random kid's stream.
Ball control.
Hey, listen. Okay, I'm gonna throw a crazy theory out there. Just stay with me on this. All the artists I named weren't famous before they dropped. That's cause it's super rare. But in all honesty, the last one to ever do this, Olivia Rodrigo. And look at where she is now. Beyonce for white girls. What I'm saying is, the sky's the limit for Gelo Ball. He's got it all. The hoop dreams might be over, but no cap, this might be even better. More heat coming for both him and me. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. She just a taxi. I'm in on the time. I run like a Houston taxi.